further 20-30% increase in capacity.
When?
Over the next couple of years.
Anything solid आप बता सकें roughly कितना invest करने का
over the next 1 year.
1 year?
Over the next 1 year. Yeah.
Any investment plans के कितना invest कर रहे हैं आप इसमें?
Last year, I think we invested about, in the last 2-3 years, we invested about 500 million rupees in fixed capital. I would say about another 500 million roughly. That would be invested between this and next couple of years or so.
And ये internal generation से हो रहा है या are you going to structure it in a particular way?
Well, it is because our profits have been fairly handsome. We have been retaining a fair amount of them. We've been paying out pretty well also, but we've been retaining a fair amount, and that is essentially, if you see our paid up capital, it's gone from 30 million to about 150 million in the last 4 years or so. So there's internal generation, and of course there'll be debt.
अच्छा, dividends आपके जो yield and payout है ना, actually this is a natural phenomena. जब आप growth में जा रहे होते हैं, you retention आप बढ़ाते हैं, obviously payout comes down, but it has come down significantly. For instance, in 2000 and 2001 आपका dividend payout was 92%, almost 93% actually. वो like almost half. It's now at 54%. Is there a policy change? Yes, this is primarily because आप growth phase में और retention ज़्यादा कर रहे हैं.
Yeah, there's no policy. The policy has been to give a fair return to the shareholder. At that time, when we were paying out 92%, our profits were that much lower, and thus we were paying out that much more because we wanted a fair return to the shareholder. This still same policy now, because the profits are that much higher. We are retaining.
But yield जो है 16.7% in 01-02 उससे गिर के 5.6% पे आ गई.
Well, it depends how you measure yield. If a bonus issue is taken at book value, then your yield is that much lower. If the bonus issue is taken at market value, then we paid out, I think, 75%.
I'm assuming कि आपने जो अपने ही accounts में दिया, आपने से book value पर दिखाया होगा.
I think इसमें there's a sort of miscalculation, I would say, because that's
probably book value पर लिया होगा इसको,
which is not realistic.
अच्छा, जो stock की movements है market में, how closely held is this company?
I think it's closely held to. We would like greater float in the market. The majority shareholders have, I would say the majority, and then government between State Life and NIT has roughly between 25 to 30% shareholding as well. And then the others who are out there, there are really a lot of long-term
just for example, individuals. 40% of the shares as per last count जो आपने O6 के accounts में publish किया हुआ है, about 39.8% individuals के हाथ में है. बाकी मुख्तलिफ institutions हैं, इदारों के नाम है. NIT actually has a solid 16%. Yeah. I think you own about 17% of the company. और बाकी कुछ आपके family members का भी नाम है. But ये 39 या 40% जो individuals हैं, how many of these are actual true market individuals, and how much of this is actually held by other members of your family?
Well, as I say, the members of the family would be owning over 50% as such. And then between State Life and NIT would be, and in that individuals, we're all individuals, so that it comes within that 39.8%.
थोड़ा share क्यों नहीं करते आप लोग? Secondary offering करें, थोड़े से और shares market में लाएं. Well, book yourself some profits too. There are some.
I agree. We are actually, that's why we're going out with bonuses. We're increasing the total capital of the company with greater bonuses, and we have seen there's been more trading in recent years. Still not enough, but I think with the similar pattern extending into the next few years, I think we'll see a greater
500 million की जो expansion है, is there a possibility कि कुछ rights offering आ जाए उसके लिए?
It's a bit early to say. I wouldn't want to second guess our board of directors.
How independent is the board of directors? I mean, given the fact that obviously at least three of the people on the board are within the family, and obviously 2 people are represented by NIT, unki 16% holding hai. The chairman is obviously also someone in the family. How independent is the board in that respect?
Extremely independent, and I think very demanding. The board is very demanding. We've had situations where we've come out with a budget and board has said, go back and do your sums, this is not acceptable. We've come out with projects, they said, no, we want more information. There's nothing that I can take for granted. For each board meeting, the whole management team has to work extremely hard. I would say, in a way, the toughest are the family members, because the whole idea is to run it totally and completely on a professional basis. You mentioned earlier corporate governance. We take that very, very seriously, and we think we're at a fairly good level of corporate governance. So we don't. It's not really run as a family company as such. No, not at all.
डिविडेंड पेआउट्स इसके जो रेशियो है, शुड वी एक्सपेक्ट कि आने वाले 1-2 साल में रफली जो करंट लेवल्स हैं इस पे ही रहेंगे, और कुड इवन ड्रॉप पोटेंशियली बिकॉज देयर मोर प्रोजेक्ट्स कमिंग अप?
No, the dividend payout ratio also a lot depends on the profitability. If our profitability keeps increasing this way, I don't see why the payout ratio shouldn't increase. At the same time, of course, we are retaining, so it's a lot depend on the profitability. Also, as I said, depending on how the board of directors want to take the strategic direction of the company.
Once again, I'd like to probe a little bit into the future. Once again, कमाल साहब ने बताया कि एक तो पावर प्लांट अपना लगा रहे हैं 3 मेगावाट का, आई थिंक गैस एलोकेशन का अरेंजमेंट कुछ हो गया गवर्नमेंट के साथ. Is how much will you be spending on building this?
It will be in the range of about.
It's usually $1 million $1 million a megawatt.
It's about 80 million rupees or so. The whole project should be.
80 million.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound too bad. दूसरी इसके अलावा once again आपने कहा कि 20 to 30% capacity expansion possibly हो सकती है wires and cables में. Still, would you like to put any numbers to this?
Well, the 20-30% I'm talking about this year.
This year and stuff.
Yeah.
ये debottlenecking से ही achieve हो जाएगा?
Partly. Mostly debottlenecking. This is that kind of industry. There's no one single plant. So it is a series of debottlenecking that keep happening, a series of enhancements that you keep bringing. So you bring in one machine, if it's 1 out of 20 machines, you see, then you bring in another one, etc. So it's not like you buy all 20 machines.
और आप जहाँ पर located हैं, I think you have a decent 12 acres of land for this facility. Further expand करने के लिए, do you have land?
We have enough land at this point in time, but we are being very, very careful of within the land that we have as to how and where we put the expansion, being very, very careful about that.
पहले क्वार्टर में जो आपकी अर्निंग्स थी पिछले साल से obviously 78% ज़्यादा थी, a little over 7 rupees पहले क्वार्टर की अर्निंग्स आई. Has the second quarter been this good as well? I'm not asking you to tell me the EPS. Generally, sales अच्छी रही हैं?
Sales have been good. Sales have been fine. I think we should be reasonably close to the first.
Do you work like the cement sector के second or third quarter थोड़ा slow होता है and first and fourth ज़्यादा strong होता है?
No, there's no real seasonal factor over here. There's no real seasonal
construction
factor. Construction in certain parts of the country comes down in the sense of house building, etc. But you know, it's still industrial projects and utilities carry on.
28-29 रुपए की आ सकती है अर्निंग, इसका मतलब है?
I hope so.
Am I sounding absolutely bizarre? Or
no, not at all. I hope so. I certainly hope so. We're certainly aiming for that.
Now we have less than a minute left. Briefly, message for the shareholders.
Well, I would certainly like to talk about a message not only for the shareholders but generally. There are a couple of points that I think we need to I would like to highlight. One is the issue of intellectual property rights laws. Pakistan Cables, like other companies, counterfeit होता है, काफ़ी होता है, और हमारे जो laws हैं counterfeit के, they are just not strong enough. The second area is that the substandard cable, there should again be legislation to stop this particular thing.
Thank you very much, कमाल चनॉय साहब, वक्त निकाल कर आप तशरीफ लाए, हमारी आगाही बढ़ाई अपनी कंपनी के बारे में और इस सेक्टर के बारे में. पाकिस्तान केबल्स की जानिब से एक्सपेक्ट किया जा सकता है कि आने वाले साल में 20 से 30% इनकी कैपेसिटी में फर्दर एक्सपेंशन आ सकती है. इफ प्राइसेस गो अप, who's to know, they might score another 40% increase in sales. थैंक यू वेरी मच कमाल साहब, वक्त निकाल के आप सामने. फिलहाल पावर लंच में इतना ही. देखते रहिए CNBC पाकिस्तान.